but.
One drivers attempting the first race of the season. The competition each season raises higher and higher. We got a lot of drivers that maybe put it
Checkers or records, buddy?
Favorites for a championship. But tonight, it's the Tone Center. Who will start out the first race of the season on top? Let's find out. Larry England.
Okay, it was a first gear start, and I was in second.
First race of season 10 for the WSSR Cup Series as the field roars down here, turn number 1.
It was definitely a first gear start.
Still inside.
And Larry Yingling going to have a clean launch for himself on the inside. Dallas Newbegin's going to be following in suit. It's Lucky Ducks that are going to be the 2 drivers following the 3-time champ. And Richard, this is the start that a lot of drivers are hoping for. A clean one. First lap, no trouble. I think that's a good deep breath you can take as the rest of the field, lap 1, Larry Yingling gets the lead.
Yeah, a nice clean start to the race is what every driver wants to see as they start to go 3 wide there. But as expected, the inside line is going to get that early rush up front because they're the shortest way around the track. But I feel once the outside kind of gets, gathered up, gets hooked up together, that's probably going to be the fastest way around the track just from the rhythm. But we'll see what they can do. Inside still running the fastest. The outside does seem to be catching a little bit as they all start to shuffle back in line further and going.
The drivers thinking about going 3 wide. It's going to be the one driver who's most aggressive last season, Drew Jua, sending it to that 3rd lane. Forcing in the middle is going to be Ross Tatum. Took that front row spot, but the 29's been going backwards as the middle of the field clogging up 3 wide. Some are already saying, you know what, let's go to the very back. That's going to be Machine Brian McCann, who's all the way down on the apron. But staying 3 wide, Ken Campbell now getting the lone soldier on that upper lane.
Yeah, he's kind of left out to dry, but I'm shocked he's keeping up still at that inside line. But he's got to file himself back in line eventually if he wants to start moving forward. And this part of the strategy is going to be to save the car. But it looks like everyone's kind of starting to ease out a little bit. Gavin's starting to come into the picture there as well. Yeah, looks like we're starting to see a little bit of calm in the storm, but it's definitely nowhere close to over as people are going to try to make it up to that top 10.
Absolutely not. And one driver that's saying, I want to take off now. Got tires to do it. Why not use it? It's the 41 of Cameron Thompson, already up to 13 positions from where he started. Started all the way back in 29th place, and currently on the inside, he's on the far back stage of this front group.
Don't chill on this bottom now.
That is a massive gain in just 5 laps of 13 positions. That is showing signs that you know how to work your way through this field.
3 wide per lap. I mean,
yeah, that is fantastic signs you know how to work your way through the field, and that's the key when it comes to super speedway racing. When you're drafting the entire way, it's the only way to be fast is in a draft. So being able to move your way through the field safely and carefully is the key to getting your positions here.
Just non-drivers.
Seeing some drivers. This is further on back of the second pack is starting to grow. They're losing touch to the lead group and almost about the outside of the draft. That's being led by Danny Cochran, who is only back in 26th position. This front group that we see, this is our front pack still led by Larry Yingling, trying to hold both lanes as much as possible. But everyone 2 by 2 from about 3rd on back. You're seeing the cluster of drivers, but it's that accordion effect that everyone's worried about. The huge checkups that we have here. I mean, Richard, that's one of the big factors of this track that's so different than from the bigger superspeedway racetracks like Daytona and Talladega.
That is a big difference between this and your Daytona and Talladega, like you were mentioning. This track is a lot shorter, so the turning radius isn't as long or wide. So later in these runs, these tires are going to start wearing out. That is another big factor here. Tire wear does matter. So they will start having to let up. The checkups will be a little bit more than you will see at Daytona and Talladega. So it's something that they have to factor in later in these runs when they're running 2 and 3 wide.
And we have an update on one of the drivers entering tonight as Ryan Noel. He actually not just the EOL to start the night off, also had a park and go penalty. He had to stop for 30 seconds in pit road and then take off. The 00 currently 2 laps down. Going to need a couple of cautions to get back into the mix. As speaking about the mix, it is getting mixy further on back. This is around
like as soon as you clear them from side drafting, you just
2 wide, 3 wide. And currently, it's going to be seeing Levi Cox trying to find a way to pull the rest of the field. Shane Tarian and co. up forward as staying side by side 3 wide has really been hurting the field, but it's the 99 and the 9 battling for 16th place currently.
Yeah, battling for 16th place back there. It could be, just trying to stay out of the trouble, but they also, the few drivers back there, they want to get up and get moving, try to get to that front. So they're kind of hurting themselves if they want to get those points. But at least they're staying, out of trouble, really. We're back here riding with Zach Wall back in 33rd, this back group here. One car, it looks like, got into the wall, losing a fender there.
That's Christopher Norris, and I went back. I believe there was a technical issue that forced the 38 into the outside wall, clobbering it, and required damage for Christopher Norris as he was coming across the front stretch just a lap ago for himself. Don't know if we're going to be able to get the replay as the 38 has to go into pit road, but it was it looked like disconnected, threw himself into the outside wall, and ultimately came up with that major damage. That's just one of those things of kind of the randomness of internet racing and compared to real life racing. You have those moments where a mechanical failure, something just breaks on the car and you have no control over it. That's what some of these drivers deal with connection issues, monitors going blank. It looks like that just happened to the 38 change.
Bottom's checking up fierce, man.
Yeah, that's sad to see in the season opener this early as well. He'll be able to get back out on track depending on how much time he's got to repair there, but it's going to be a long, hard race for him to try to get any laps back. But yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, we're not in real race cars, so we're not getting typical mechanical failures they'll see in real life. So yeah, we got to rely on our computer equipment. That is our mechanical failure. So when we have a technical issue, that's equivalent to car making.
Right now, we're watching the lead pack. It's been a change. John Forbes leading the outside group, but they're catching up the lap traffic. That's going to drop to the apron. That's Connor Berry in the O2. Staying low, and he actually had to make a stop. Started on pit road, it looked like, so he was not able to get the launch that he was hoping for to stay with the front pack. But luckily stays out of the way. You love to see that type of respect out on track because there's other times, Richard, where lap cars will force the pack to have to squeeze up and go 3 wide.
Yeah, and you will definitely see that way later, especially when they start getting desperate to stay on the lead lap or stay in the lucky dog position. They might force themselves kind of up in the line to get, at least tagged onto the draft to keep up with everybody. So I was glad to see him staying down there, showing the respect to these front drivers, letting them race it out, and he's just going to tag on to the very back there and just kind of ride it out and hope he gets that lucky dog during the stage.
Making alliances is always a key when you come to Superspeedway racing, and we're seeing teammates now in line. Ryan Kelly, Larry Yingling on the inside row from Ying Yang Racing. Trying to work as one, push their way forward. John Forbes, though, driver that we've seen even on Monday nights, who's a 2-time champ for that truck series, loves to be up front, being a control vehicle, but they are having a little bit of fear because they're having trouble with Drew Jua in the 88 major blink, and he's the second car on the outside. He's blinking, caution is thrown as the field reacts around him as trouble strikes with just no one knowing where drivers were at.
Yeah. Network connection issues are always a huge issue, especially here at the drafting tracks, because you just close that gap in so quick and then you don't know where that car disappears, and next thing you know, they're on your hood and spinning around. So sad to see an early caution for a lot of drivers there that probably got damage there.
And look at it, we are not able to re-show the replay of it because the 88 was just blinking the whole time.
What's the
ultimately
play here?
got spun around off the nose.
Come down, try that right side out
Brian
first.
T. Johnson, and spun around onto the front stretch, also collecting
I will keep
with
the track position,
Drew
to be
after
honest
that
with you.
invisible spin.
I got a pit.
Was going to be the 7th.
Oh, did you get in?
A little bit.
Who grabbed a little bit of damage for himself, but Drew Jua with the spin, the contact, required damage has been given out to the 88. Looks like it's some suspension damage. His race isn't completely over, but obviously the field a little bit frustrated with seeing a car blinking and being as aggressive as we were seeing Drew Jua be.
And, that was like technical issues like Norris experienced. The internet can do that.
It's
You
killed
have
down the pit.
internet issues, and that's what causes
I
that.
don't
So
see anything at all.
It's sad to see. I understand drivers'
I got 25
frustration. That
seconds.
can happen to anybody out on the track. It's just this early, it's frustrating for all the drivers that are involved because there's still a lot of racing to go in this track.
Absolutely, and with the technical issues of drivers blinking, I know with the new iRacing updates, it's put a lot of pressure on the computer side of drivers.
Nothing like being involved in the first regular year.
And with also the large number of drivers that we have,
How bad is
just
it?
having too many drivers on
24
server
seconds, and that's
can
just on the nose,
influence
so it's all
drivers'
repairable.
Oh,
computer
okay.
more than others.
For middle back now, are you rolling?
You
Or?
have a lot of
I'm
stuff
going
that are
now.
rendering
Okay.
when it
Yeah,
comes
we're
to
just not middle
your
back.
sim racing. So with all the updates iRacing has done, I mean, we're starting to need more beefier and beefier computers to be able to run with so many cars. So I mean, it's definitely a bummer. Hopefully he can recover. Hopefully everybody can recover, get their damage repaired, and we can see them back up, running near the front and competing for this win.
As the field is pacing, some have made the decision to go into pit road. Those few drivers going to be Shane Terrian, Nick Crawford, Jared Hughes, as well as Chris Dentz, who's getting that damage repaired for himself. Still in pit road getting service done is Christopher Norris. Drew Jua yet to go into pit road for the 88 machine. I think he might have to take a tow with how slow he is. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to pit road. He's trying his best at this moment. But
We're on one to
once
go.
again, thank you to everyone that's joining
we're
with
gonna be
us
on the
here this
inside.
evening. Pace car lights are off, so we're
We're
going
gonna be
this
behind
time
41.
by. But I know we got a lot of new
41,
people in here
41.
excited with the new season to root on their favorite drivers. I know for you, Richard, you got a fan base that's cheering you on for being up in the booth. We're excited
15th. I'm
for
probably
how
going to
this
get up to
season is
11th or
starting
12th
out,
and then
but
not
we are
get any
still
stage
in the
points.
first stage. Stage 1 ends at the end of lap 30 unless there's a caution between lap 25 and
Or you
30.
could just as easily fall
Richard,
back to 30
we're
if
in
you
that
know.
go zone. It's time to take out and go on this restart.
Sure.
I think it's going to be going to see these drivers until
Hey,
those
quit looking at my
final 25 laps.
position.
Yes, we hit that halfway mark at this stage, and it's no joke.
Yeah,
now.
well,
Like,
you got
now's
me
the time
beat
to
for
start
that.
making the moves. 'cause it's-
Well,
it's
hey,
not
I'm in
easy to make
15th,
moves
so you're
here in
literally
Atlanta. It
twice
might
the
seem
driver
like
I
these
am
drivers
right
make
now,
it look
okay?
like it's easy.
Is that
but
better?
It's not. They're driving 180, 190 mile an hour. This close to each other.
I'm sure I'll be coming
So
back there and
it's
joining
go
you
time
soon.
now. By the time we go green, we'll be
We both on the
19,
inside,
19
so
of the
I don't
30.
know.
So we
I've
got
been riding
11
out, so-
laps
well,
to
it
be
was
able to
kinda
get as
single
high as
file.
we can before that.
Yeah, early Drew went three,
Checkered
top of
flag
3,
flies for the end of the
and
stage.
it worked. So I was like, all right. And then he did it again, so I went with him again, and then he pulled back in line, and I got screwed.
Ryan Kelly
And I was like, oh, okay, so that's how we're starting the season.
Forbes, Douglas, new big in, bringing out new scheme for the 7. And also going to be seeing lucky enough teammate of Douglas, new big in of James Scioli.
Here we go, check the record.
Up front, we'll see how these drivers, teammates can get in line and work
Record
as
records.
one. Or is it just find your own way to be inside of the top 10 by the end of the stage? Green flag is out. Here we go. As already drivers trying to get in line with one another. And Ying
This
does
third,
it.
that's awesome.
It's going to be Yingling and Kelly already trying to cycle themselves in that front group. Everyone else a little bit more spaced out. Richard, I think this is going to be a huge run to watch out for these next few laps.
Oh, this is going to be a fantastic run to watch for these next couple of laps. You can see drivers that necessarily aren't teammates on a normal day, but you find drivers you can race with, you hook up with them, and you work together because you need friends here at Super Speedway. And it looks like Larry Yingling and Ryan Kelly are doing exactly that as they're fanning around on this front stretch, which is wild. As the 11, John Forbes diving to the inside. We might have a change for the lead here.
And that is such a John Forbes move. Utilize the momentum, take the run, and be as aggressive as you can. This 11, that's going to be moves we're going to be seeing a lot throughout this season as he's growing more and more confident with the next-gen car. As you look back from the 11, you see a different scheme. This is the black Toyota with just the American flag on the hood. This is actually Brian P. Johnson. Doesn't have a number on the side, but this black machine with the American flag, this is Johnson to watch out for. The 2800 ticker board, black machine on track. And he's trying to assist this 11 go pushing forward. And then behind Johnson, new scheme, new driver. It's the 27 of Jared Talmadge, who's also another driver to watch out for on the aggression level as the night progresses forward.
Still out there.
As they come across the line, 9 laps to go in the stage, and it's Ryan Kelly leading
And
that
inside still has some weird checkups.
with the 67 Larry Yingling and the rest of the field. Looking at some of our biggest movers of those that are inside of our top 10. It's still the 41 of Cameron Thompson, up 16 positions from where he started, but everyone else that's inside of our top 10, there's just a handful of them that started in the top 10. Everyone else was outside. Some of them were even outside of the top 20 to move their way forward. A little bit of jostling there from the black machine of Johnson. He tried to find his way to get a good run off the exit of the corner, but this field still side by side. And I gotta say, Richard, this is getting to that closing moments where if you want to move forward, going 3 wide is your only option, but who's willing to take that risk because they don't have fast repair for the rest of this race.
Out there.
You're right. There is no fast repair here. They wreck their car and they brake. They're sitting in the pits waiting for that repair to be done. So taking that step out to make 3 wide, like you said, is the only way really to pass if you want to keep going up further. But then you got to hope someone behind you is going to follow you because you're going to need that help. And if you go to the middle to try to make that pass, which is a very...
Think people are just going to ride it out, or you think they're going to get aggressive?
I mean,
here?
if nobody goes with you, that's just
Pretty
a
wide
center hole, and it'll
mid-pack.
send you right back
Oh,
to the
okay.
back.
It's going to be
That answers that.
It's going backwards. And the amount of drivers are still out there on track. It could be a long night trying to get all those positions back. And one of those has been trying to make the run forward. Very easy to see is the yellow machine.
they're already going to the apron on the front.
Forward, but it is a madhouse
Yeah,
back here for the drivers that are around that 15th on back zone. As Shane Terry has to go down onto the apron. He'll stay there as the rest of the field checking up, trying to give space. Terry stays on the apron until he moves up, but a lot of drivers did not know if the 9 was going to come back on the track.
There, man. There was
and a
nowhere
big scare for
to come up. We were very wide.
Yeah, that was great heads-up driving by everybody on the track, watching out for number 9, and Shane doing a great job keeping that car down on the apron after it looked like him and Danny Cochran got into each other a little bit. The cars are still fanning out across this front stretch here. We're 3 wide back in the pack. Everyone trying to make moves to get further up in the field.
And one of those drivers in the middle, running a different color than we traditionally see in the white and purple. Larry Art Productions 25. It's Cody Reed. And this was what Cody has done at Atlanta SuperSpeedway races, is trying to be a threat that just is willing to make big moves to go forward. Currently has stalled out just inside of our top 20. Cody Reed, one of the drivers that signed up late, and he's trying to make some late charging moves here with the laps ticking away before the stage is over, but Troll behind. Drivers are wrecking. And it looks to be Jalen Wilkes who goes around for the 6th. And our first real on-track big one. It could have been a lot bigger. Our first on-track incident right there of a driver getting spun around the middle of his pack.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, getting spun around in the middle of the pack is never a good thing, but luckily that was a little further back in the field, and that also will be the end of the stage as well as one
14th.
5-lap, gap that we give. And it just looks like a bad push. It pushed the number 2 into the 6 and just got him around. Looks like it was about only 2 or 3 cars that was involved, and everyone just kind of trying to dodge him as well.
Yeah, that looked to be the 2 machines. The O2 on our ticker of Connor Berry. Did not check up in time. The one driver's backing off, and the 2 machine running into the back of the 6. And Watkins, he was trying to, Wilkes, excuse me, in the 6 machine, as there's the tap to spin, the go around.
Double zero.
The rest of the field trying to find a way to scatter around the 6 machine as he's trying to collect in the Lucky Charms. Not feeling so lucky, but one driver that is going to be the 3 of Ryan Kelly, taking our stage victory for himself, as Kelly will be heading into pit road to get service done, and with being our stage winner, we'll wait until his pit stop is over to talk to 3 machine response on this race so far. But Richard, racing action, our first stage is done for the first race of the season. Man, how are you feeling watching these guys so far?
Oh man, I can tell you now, I wish I was down there racing with them, that's for sure.
More
but I mean, 2 cautions, that's about what I would kind of almost expect. 1 is about what I was going to totally expect. Really respectful drivers, really skilled. So just crazy aggression from everyone in the field. It's producing some great moments for us right now.
Well, as the drivers have exited out of pit road, let's see if we can call in our stage winner in the 3 machine. Let's see if we can get Ryan Kelly with us. Ryan, it's Sam and Richard up in the booth. You got us?
Don't get bit by that Campbell rule, man.
Well, Ryan, yourself and Larry really controlled being up front. But how are you feeling? How's the car feeling here in these first 30 laps?
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to be up front here. Start of the new season, and just enjoying racing with everybody again. And hopefully we can stay up
a bunch of guys took either no tires or fuel.
And Richard, do you have a question for Ryan for us here?
Really?
Yeah, so it looks like...
No, sir, honestly, I really don't. You kind of took my question I was going to ask.
Doing 3 payouts.
But, no, Ryan, you look like you're doing really strong up there. You look, very smooth like you have been in many seasons before. So you got any people you're looking forward to working with this rest of this race?
Yeah, hopefully the rest of my Yang Yang teammates this season. Larry,
10 on
Levi, and Chad, McCann. Hopefully, I'll be up front here at the end. Just have a good finish for all of us in the team.
We're going to hope for that as well. Well, Ryan, we'll send you back to the team. Good luck on this restart, and congratulations on being our stage winner for the first race of the season.
Appreciate it, gentlemen.
As that will be the 3 machine from Yin Yang Racing of Larry Yingling. We also have updates of drivers deeper in the field that had trouble. It looks like Chad Wilkes going to be
All right,
calling
I'm 14.
it
Where
a
y'all?
race for the 6 machine after being involved in
forward.
that incident that brought out our
30th.
most recent caution. Drew
Okay.
Dua still in pit road, getting
We are
damage
killing
repair.
it this
Christopher
season.
Norris has been able to
Hell
get
yeah.
38 is back out on track, being 18
I'm
laps
just hoping it's
down.
the
Brian Noel, who
opposite of,
started this race 2 laps down.
last
with
Atlanta,
a
you know,
stop-and-go
we started really
penalty.
good. We didn't
He's
finish as
currently
great,
1
so
lap
this
down
time
and
Yeah.
hoping
start
for
kind of
another caution to
mid.
get that lap back
Yep.
and have a chance
Finish
to be able
good,
to go out
hopefully.
and challenge some of these drivers.
Yes,
for
yeah.
Flip it and reverse it.
Speaking
Yeah.
about further on up, a couple
1,
of
2,
drivers
3.
taking the option of
I'll take
not
that.
pitting at lap
Of course,
30
I'm
at
wrecking
this
you if I'm
stage.
3.
Reason why these drivers are working with full fuel loads, so they can go
Just
around.
make it look
60
good across
the
laps
finish
line.
on
I'll be
track.
3 coming out of the 4th corner.
And also
and,
gonna be
just
seen
turn you.
out of, cross
You might not be
here
facing
up
straight,
front.
but you'll
These
still get a
drivers up
podium.
front, I mean, I'm curious on
As
how
long as
well
you
they
two
can
wreck
handle
each other,
it because
not
they've
gonna
got
have no
30
problem.
lap older tires compared to the rest of the field. Some of them took 2 tires, some took 4. We're going to see the major difference
Checkers
here
or records?
of what it's like.
Checkers
that
or records?
old
Records.
tires
Gone.
compared to new. As the green flag is out, stage is over, and it's their 38. Not able to get the launch that he was hoping for. Already going to be losing a little help from Larry Yingling. And here we go, Richard, down into turn number 1. It's going to be Leroy Koblitz leading the charge with the rest of the field trying to catch up to him.
Leroy got a great jump on that restart as he was in control, but he got out way too far. Because you got Ryan Kelly and Larry Yingling out up top there with the run. They're going to be able to take the lead and get control of this race again. You know, I was expecting that was a good move for those drivers further in the back to kind of be up front. Because, I mean, 30-lap old tires, that's kind of old, but it's not too terribly old still because they can control the pace for the most part if they really
And I had
worked
a
on it,
huge
but
run,
it
and if
just
I took it,
got too big of a launch, and they just able to get the momentum in the pass.
if I took the huge run I had, I was going to get hung out and end up all the way in the back. I just had, it was so sad.
Trouble from the 42 of Leroy Koblitz. He just is not able to get into the throttle as cleanly as everyone else. Really holding back this inside pack. Almost got to see the 7 of Douglas Newbig and caught up in an incident. Same for the 77 of Scioli. They did not find spacing that they were hoping for. This inside row starting to get a little bit more drivers leading the charge.
Outside's moving right now, though.
John Forbes as well as the 41 of Cameron Thompson, who's been our biggest mover of the night, continuing to find some big moves for the 41. Now up 31 position. Up 18 positions from where he started here tonight.
Yeah, Adam Kraus doing a fantastic job up here, following suit, keeping up with these leaders. As we got a little loose there on the outside, but that inside kind of seems to be falling back. That outside's gotten really hooked up, and that's what I expected to kind of be the fast line around the stretch.
It's the fastest way around, but I mean, it's always that kind of give up and kind of the back and forth seesaw. How much do you want to give up early to have the tires later on? I think it's the difference we're seeing right now. Drivers that want to move forward, such as the 15 we're right on board with right now. Going to be Ken Campbell and that Campbell Super Machine trying to find his way forward. Probably one of the funner drivers. If you have not watched Ken Campbell's YouTube videos, go watch Campbell Racing. Some of the funnest racing.
It was moving so good, man. I was going to give it to you. I didn't want to hog all
We're
of it.
on board with the 15 as he's giving us a
Trying to be a team player there.
Take the lead position, getting a lot of help from behind as the 23 machine of Will Hustler helping Campbell move forward. But gotta say, if you haven't, after this broadcast, go check out Campbell Racing's YouTube channel and get to see what his point of view, his racing rig. It's an amazing rig that he has, that he shows off on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, that is awesome to go show off, what you're racing with over on YouTube with your own point of view, your own camera to show everybody to see how you experience, the iRacing and league racing here with WSSR. But Ken's doing a great job there on the inside, was able to get really good momentum run. Get side by side with Larry now. So it kind of looks like both lines have kind of stalled with each other at the moment. So we'll see what everyone in the back wants to do. Get a little bit of 3 wide here. 36. Looks like we got a little bit out of the line there.
Yeah, that's going to be Kraus who gets just shoved out of the way from John Forbes, who just says, yeah, I'm moving forward. Speaking about trying to move forward, has been going very slowly all the way forward. That's Zach Hall, only back in 33rd position, but he's with some allies that he knows, with Cedric Hunter, who's looked quick, also with former drivers that they've raced with in the past of Levi Cox. These are going to be 3 drivers. I think they're going to make their truck forward at some moment.
They're 4 wide.
Find some more allies, but we got to move up front because we were almost 4 wide, battling for 5th place. And it's Cody Reed forcing the middle, and it's Kraus once again who's just being bounced around and kind of turned into a pinball as he's just being bullied up and down this field.
And Cody Reed, I will say, racing with him, he is definitely probably one of the action men of this series. He loves making the aggressive moves and taking things 3 wide. Just a very aggressive driver, but clean as well. You know, he doesn't really cause a lot of issues with being the aggressive moves that he makes. But almost 4 wide, they're still able to keep it straight. No caution. We're still racing.
They certainly are still racing. The outside row still looking the strongest at this moment. Right on board with SpongeBob Machines 27 of Jared Talmadge. He's going to be following in suit with the 28 Black Machine of Brian B. Johnson. So the inside row at moments peek their nose ahead, but not able to really move forward. Trying to hit a wall. It's only on the entry of the corner where they can really get that big gain of pace is the inside row, but it's the exit or the outside. You see that momentum. I mean, Richard, it is a massive, the amount of runs that these drivers get off the exit of the corner when you're on that outside row.
Yeah, those runs on the outside are just insane. But being able to cut that corner on the inside to get a little bit of ground, you know, if you can do it right, get up there and side draft, that'll help bring that outside line back. But I mean, that could be a little dangerous as well, because the side draft here in the Sin, it likes to pull the cars into each other. So, I mean, you got to do it right. You got to do it safe. But Kim Campbell's doing a great job leading that inside line, still side by side with Larry Yingling for second place. And it looks like he might get next to Ryan Kelly there. Poking his nose just a little bit in front, trying to take the lead. Is he going to be able to lead this lap?
He'll come across the line, and he will lead that lap. So that's a picture-perfect sign of how you want to set up a pass if you're on the last lap. You want to make a slight run, if possible. And the 15, getting the nose, getting a little bit more ahead, and maybe we're seeing that transition of the tires right now. That inside row is a little bit more calm, but the calmness is not behind this front group. As once again, it's Jared Talmadge going to be on the outside, the 35. Trying to get by this group as it's going to be the 83 stuck in the middle. They're trying to find some help and finally will find a little bit of help. It's the 24 Raleigh Fonseca that helps out at 83 machine.
Yeah, now the number 16 with Joshua Kanata stuck in the middle. But just back to the back Joshua goes. It's never fun to see. It's never fun to be in that position either, because you just hate. There's nothing you can do. You're just seeing cars drive on the left and right side of you. He's doing a good job. Keep it next to the other cars there in the middle lane. So, get a little nice back there. There's 2 3 wide lane or rows right there. Going for Tarian gets up into the car.
That's what we did.
That's going to be Vincent Sora. And oh no, more drivers sent up to the outside wall. That's the Hello Kitty machine. It's Cedric Hunter further on back. Well, Vincent Sora going to be massive collision for the 15 machine. Both Sora and Hunter require damage. They both have to go into pit road, and no yellow is thrown.
Did you make it through it?
As 2 drivers get critical and fatal damage for themselves.
That is unfortunate to see.
Stay in the wall. They don't take away your playoffs.
Come out, you know, like you did last season.
Does the 53 know the deal? Does the 53 know the deal?
Shane Tarian.
Full car and then go through
Yeah, like I was on the line, dude.
I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, here's going to be the thing. Shane Tarian stuck in the middle in that monster machine. It's Vincent Sora who's going to be on the outside. And as they go into the corner, pushes up into the 51 and just trying to react to get around Vincent Sora with Cedric Hunter. And after contact, sent back into the outside wall, and both drivers sent to pit road. No fast repairs.
Got a
sit in pit
lapper
road,
coming
get
up.
the
He's running
required
low on
damage
that
fixed, any optional damage fixed as well before they can get out there on track. That is such a frustrating moment and feeling, especially on. I just got a recall flag saying required damage. I have to go to pit road, and yet no yellow flag is thrown on top of it.
That is the worst feeling ever, because you know you're going to be sitting there for more than likely a minute, 2 minutes minimum. And then also your optional damage repair, especially at a track like here, you need to take all your damage repair as much as you possibly can. If you don't get that optional damage repair,
he almost just lost into the field.
Arrow drag that's just not able to
I thought he might be carrying a little too much speed.
It's an unfortunate situation for both Vincent Sora and Cedric Hunter. It's sad to see both of them get the meatball flag and head to the pits.
just makes the field a little bit smaller as we continue to race on. The field up front still being controlled by the Ying Yang drivers of Ryan Kelly as well as Larry Yingling. And seeing a few other drivers, there's not a lot of movement going on in our top five. I'd say our top five.
The good news is I've got clean air. The bad news is I've full throttle, burning gas and tire.
Where drivers have been slotting back and forth. That 3-1 moves have been happening around one another. A couple of drivers that have been making some big
Yeah, too bad we're not up there, or else we could try and play some pitch strategy, but
he started
yeah,
as well.
We still got a ways to go.
Back in 12th position, running the Superman scheme. And if he can get attached,
Forbes is pushing me too. I mean, he's aggressive, but he's doing great.
He had probably the worst luck of
I don't think he'll do anything crazy until
Campbell, his teammate, last season.
pit,
53. He's on the charge to move forward and crack the top 10.
Yeah, they definitely did not have a very lucky season last season 9, but hopefully that could change here in season 10 as we had some cars get a little sideways there on the front stretch, getting into each other a little bit. But I think this is the time when the tires are starting to wear out. They're going to start getting tight into these turns. As some of these drivers, it looks like number 7 kind of getting into the Chevy there, or Ford.
30.027.
As best trouble possible as falling back to the 7 machine Douglas Newbigging, as well as seeing the 21, the yellow mellow machine. That's Ross Tatum.
Outside.
And I'm curious on your thoughts on this, Richard. About I would say a handful of drivers on our last caution at the stage break of lap with a pit road around lap 25 went with a 2-tire stop. I'm curious on your thoughts of taking 2 tires compared to 4 when you know that these drivers, you would probably prefer 4 tires at a track like Atlanta.
You would think. I can't fully recall how the tire wear affects the cars here. I just know they get tight, but getting those newer tires on that right side, when the cars does start getting tight and those left side tires are worn out, those right side tires have a little bit more grip and it kind of helps turn the car in the turn, so it might help keep them balanced or stable for longer than getting tight sooner.
29.95.
Continue on in this run. 24 laps on the set of tires for the drivers up front. Ken Campbell still leading the way as we are 1/3 done of tonight's race. And it's all about side-by-side racing up front. Everyone trying to keep themselves out of trouble. We've had a couple of wild moments as we've been back to green flag racing. I think we're going to take our first commercial break of the evening, and we're side by side. You won't miss a thing as we continue to race here in our first race of the season, season 10. It's your WSSR Cup Series at Atlanta. We'll be back right after this with more great Super Speedway action.
Still outside. Still outside. 30.072. Fast guys are running 29.973. Still there outside. Still outside. We're good, doing good. Don't get caught in his trap. Still out there. 29.993. Doing a great job. Keep whipping it, buddy. Keep whipping it. Still outside.
Hello, Nick Crawford.
Still outside.
Are you the purple and white car?
I am the purple one, white car.
Still outside.
Hello, Coddington Radius.
30.085.
Hello, Nicholas Crawford.
Still out there.
Welcome to Fortnite. Holy crap, Cody Radius.
Still out there. Still outside. 30.109. Still out there. Still outside. Still outside. 29.956. Good job, bud. Get that rhythm, get that pace. Nice and crisp. Still out there.
The last year, it was green flag pit stops, right? We took
Still out there, man.
too much time on pit road, is what cost us, right?
Too much time getting on pit road, I think. Something like that.
Okay. I thought some guys took 2. Oh yeah, you and Madeline got checked up. I think the guys I pit with took 2, and I took 4, and then I never caught them. Like they caught the draft, and I didn't. Zach and all them pit early. We waited, and then they took 2, and I took 4, and it was just enough for me to not catch. Is I think what happened.
Wasn't it a weird situation too with the laps remaining and like it wasn't like halfway of the second stage?
Yeah.
Guys running 30.
Yeah, it was something.
Still outside.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Racing Action. First race of Season 10 for the WSSR Cup Series here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. With me up in the booth for his debut broadcast with us is Richard Wilsifer, and also, as always, running productions in the background is going to be Robert Moyer Jr. Drivers up front.
Where we really need a crew chief. When people pit earlier, we can see how long they were in pit road. I can do it, but I've got to take my eyes away from racing.
We've had 2 cautions of on-track incidences. One being a driver blinking
I've still got a
and
half
spun
tank,
around.
so we're
Others
ways
were
off,
drivers
but
just putting me outside the wall and bringing out a caution. And a few have had their nights done with being put in the wall and not a caution being thrown out. It's been an early going as we are closing in on the halfway of tonight's race, and as well.
One in the wall, he's gone down to the apron in 1 and 2.
Before we might be seeing some pit stops happen.
He's staying on the apron.
Richard, I think that's going to be the fun part. Is how are these drivers going to calculate when you went from the pit road, or are you calculating for the what ifs of a caution coming out with some of these tires starting to fall away?
I think with Atlanta SuperSpeedway right now, it's still really hard to
Say it again.
try and get those green flag pit stops. So I think a lot of these guys are probably going to try and bank on that caution coming out to get that pit under caution, because they have yet to implement into the sim the backstretch pit entrance like they have in real life. So the pit entrance for these guys is going to be coming off of 4, and that's a tight turn to make at the speeds these guys are making, how close they're driving. So green flag pit stops are going to be wild. You're going to be hearing a lot of people, and we're going to be hearing a lot of people come over the radio calling out that they're pitting. You know, if you don't call out your pit, you get spun. That's almost an on-you situation also. So that's going to be a wild moment to watch when we get down to those pit stops.
If this is your first time ever watching an iRacing race, the drivers themselves are able to communicate with one another over voice channels as well over text channels where everyone in the field can see and hear. And those drivers can easily make that communication of, hey, we're pitting on this lap, we're pitting in a couple of laps, try to set up groupings and pairings. Compared to real life racing where it's just wave a hand and hope for the best that everyone sees that you're waving your hand, which is a lot more difficult in real life compared to sim world.
It just looks like also Vincent Soret has called it a night. He has disconnected. So sad to see one of our top drivers, one of the faster guys in the field, calling it a night still early in the race.
Still there outside.
Yeah, early in the race, early in the season. Obviously, you don't want to start the season off on the back foot. And for Vincent Soret, going to be a second driver to call it an evening. But these guys on track, they're not
really starting to feel sketch in 3 and 4 now.
Let's just calm down yet. As Douglas Newbegin forced in the middle, a little drop behind. Going to be Ross Tatum in that yellow mellow machine. Also, we have a help of the machine having the split of the Dale Jr. red as well as the Dale Sr. black on that 8. I know Brian McCann very much enjoys this game that he's run here tonight. Ran it a couple of times last season. And it's always a joy when you see some throwbacks mixed and mingled in a very creative way like we see now.
35 or something.
Yeah, that is a really, really cool scheme that he has put together. It's
I doubt it was that long because the caution was at like 28, so I'm thinking probably 31, 32.
Really cool to see some of these schemes that these drivers come out with, because it is complete creativity that these guys come out with. You know, some of these really cool ones. You have the SpongeBob schemes also that make many appearances. So it's a lot of different ideas coming all together on a racetrack, and it's just so cool to see.
It certainly is, as this front pack still all together. This front group all connected. Your top 28 still within the draft of one another. There's a couple of different pods that are on their own
right now, going into 3.
Time that have fallen off our lead pack. I think they've recognized maybe there was a chance of a wreck happening. Let's just settle in and calm down at this time.
Got about
one of those
22 laps till immediate halfway.
Zach Hall runs there in the one machine with Shane Terrian. Also going to be the 44 of John Ross. And joining with them,
lap 91, 92, something like that.
2 on track of going to be Connor Berry, who are just nearly 7.5 seconds off of 28th position, but 9.5 seconds.
Probably going to want to run long though, no?
An out of trouble situation that they're going for. And it's always curious when you see drivers in packs that are like this of, is this a strategy call, or is this because of issues, because we saw Shane Terrian involved with that incident that collected Cedric Hunter as well as Vincent Sora.
behind me, Brian.
Yeah, that is a very good question between this group right here, because this could just be a strategy call saying, yeah, it's crazy up there, let's just stay back here, keep our cars clean for the most part. But, I mean, Shane Terrian, when he did got into Vincent Sora earlier, that probably caused some damage that he might have not got fixed. So it could be some issues with these cars that just aren't able to get the speed and the momentum that the front group has.
This is a grouping of 4 that are still on the lead lap, but are currently just off the pace at this current time. But where we're getting a little bit more racy is just out of our side of our top 10. 11th place is where all the action is up front, and it's Ollie Fonseca in the 24, another yellow machine, stuck in the middle, starting to fade back as he's stuck in the Malarkey as well as Sinchek Sandwich. Finally able to find some spacing, but we're now seeing some drivers we really haven't talked about at all here this evening, just cracking in the side of the top 10.
It took me 3 wide, and now we're just losing spots.
Timothy Harper, as well as getting to see now a veteran of the series.
I mean, I get wanting to race and being bored, but at the same time, it's like, come on.
Yeah, we just lost like 4 spots because he did that.
On the inside. Let's try to make this lane move.
We're about to lose the pack now, too.
They're tired of sitting in the back. They want to see some movement, some action. Because it can be boring from the driver's stance just sitting in line. But, sometimes it's just the right call to sit in line. But, they're trying to make moves, want to get up front, get in a safe spot with your teammates to make these green flag pit stops that could be looming at any moment.
Drivers up front, closing in on some lap traffic. We see in lap traffic, be willing to get out of the way. Not going to be the case this go around. Leroy Colblett's going to stay out on track. Everyone's going to be moving up, or this inside row has to pull along and just try to push this 42. And it looks like that will be the call. Ken Campbell forced to try to move this 42 to the middle, and well, it's going to get a little bit more tight as they squeeze 3 wide through 1 and 2 here with the lap car and closing in on Cedric Hunter.
Yeah, that's a great example of what we were talking about earlier. A lap car just trying to stay in the pack versus getting out of the way like Cedric Hunter's doing right there. And he's still just stuck in the middle.
He kind of blended in and was trying to stay in front of him.
So, he's going to try and slot into an open spot if he can. But it doesn't look like anybody's going to give him that room as they're still 3 wide here on the front stretch.
3 wide, almost some contact with Harper in the 18 on the inside. Now Ben Caney got to be closing in, almost contact once again. And what makes this tough is that for Leroy, now is officially 2 laps down. Was hoping to be that first driver 1 lap down. Not going to be the case. So fall through this pack, through the sucker hole. But that was probably the cleanest just fall through the pack you could ask for. He finally finds an opening to fall down and squeeze as this field, obviously that's their first reaction with a lap car that didn't just get out of the way. Kudos to the field for keeping it all pointed straight with that interaction.
Yeah, they did a good job just kind of shuffling that lap car back from the middle, just staying, keeping in lane,
you said you wouldn't do that,
maintaining, distance between each other. That was a very clean, just shuffle the lap car back, let him get in the back of the line and just get back into the draft.
But he doesn't know the deal.
2 by 2. Again, on the numbers that we were given
Ollie
for
said
fuel, 68 to 70 laps on fuel. And looking at the field at this moment, last time they were in pit road was almost 50 laps ago. So these drivers still have about 20 laps to go. That's going to put them in that range where they should be good to take it to the end. As we are also closing.
I probably have less than y'all since I've been flat footing.
Early, we're just 3 to 4 laps away from it.
Oh, it was a miracle, but we recaught the pack, so all good now.
Will that be enough fuel still with 68 laps? Because they're at halfway now, just over halfway. So
I got 19.2 laps left, 6.0 gallons.
Hitting early, you can get that short bit less time on the pit lane, but will you be able to keep the pace and that fuel saving to be
Well, I just flat footed the last couple laps, so calculations
the
probably.
good thing about that is that could be a good bank on a
JRT's telling me to put 17.2 in the tank. And like here, every little bit's gonna matter.
And also with the fact of a longer run, we won't have fresher tires for the longer run.
Do we take 2? Try to hold on.
4 to 5 drivers.
See if there's a caution, and if there is, we can come in and take more. And if not, we at least
so we look at some of the fast laps that have been ran.
Is that the play, or do we take 4?
29.4 was the fastest lap from our leader currently of Ryan Kelly, but some drivers
sure I have is with how much the laps were wearing last pit stop.
That driver that ran that time was Ken Campbell.
They wore a little bit more than the rights, but I mean,
I'm curious for.
I feel like all the chatter and stuff and looseness is coming from here, but we can take 4.
Are putting down to if we pitted at this moment,
especially if we're all going to be together, because I got hung out is what happened.
Further on back to the side. Let's take the advantage of pitting now and hope that we have clean air to work with, because that's going to be the big thing of pitting. Is hope that you're either in front of the lead pack or
20 so laps on the left side.
Space to put down fast laps.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to pitting here at the SuperSpeedway, you got to have a group you pit with. It's got to be
closer to the finish.
I'd do it, but with pitting together and keeping a distance from each other so nobody gets left behind. Because 2 or 3 cars might be fast, but it's still not as fast as a group of 5, 6, 7 cars in a line. So when it comes to pit road, you hope you have a group of cars that you're going to pit with. And a lot of these people might make a last-minute decision to pit with people that they're like, saying like, hey, if we see these people pit, we're going to pit with them. So there might not be communication between them as well. So it could be a very sketchy moment when these pit stops get ready to happen.
Some drivers could be thinking about putting here, especially absolutely good on fuel. You can wait another 2 to 3 laps and it'll be good to be making a pit, but it sounds like some drivers over the radio getting a little bit more vocal, and that's usually a sign of drivers trying to make calls of when they might go to pit road, when they are trying to spacey to get down that inside lane. I know we see everyone start to cycle into just one lane. That's usually the call that everyone's thinking about pit stops. And we continue to wait for that call for this field as we're still in the waiting period. This also gives us time to say thank you to our amazing sponsors, as we have ourselves a GTR Simulator as well as Trophy Smack. As we continue to wait each and every lap, we're just a few away from these pit stops. But I want to say thank you to the newest sponsor to hop on board with the WSSR, GTR Simulators. Head on over to GTRsimulators.com. Purchasing, remember to use the promo code WSSR for 10% off. That's GTRsimulator.com. Experience pro-level racing at home with their brand new GTA Compact V2 State F1 Team Kick Sauber setup.
Are y'all feeling like really loose or anything?
Newest products. They've got plenty of other
not crazy.
Remember to head over to GTRsimulator.com and use that promo code WSSR for 10% off. Also, thank you to Trophy.
Because it's like I'm not feeling much at all, and it's like just fuel only, but hell, fuel only is almost full tank, so you might as well.
To show off maybe your winning moment, winning vehicle, or just an image that you love to show off. It's an L plate. You can select what picture you want on it, and what's great about getting your wall smacked, there's multiple different ways to show off that perfect image with their more safe magnet mounting system, or with buying a stand to place your image on a shelf, desk, wherever you'd like. Remember, when purchasing anything from Trophy Smack, from championship rings, belts, wall smacks, or more, remember to use the promo code WSSR Smack for 10% off on purchase. We continue to stay green.
Right,
Still no
so
signs of vocal showings of pit road calling for this field. But Richard, up front, they're seeing a little bit more movement there in the corners for this field.
Yeah, there was one car that looks like got a little loose there on the front stretch, so a lot of movement.
Yeah, I've got 7 left, so people are going to be
side by side with Ryan
starting to
Kelly.
maneuver down, I think.
Really getting that lead back as well. So, I mean, we're at a point now, we're in the fuel window. The only downside
Wall
is
should be
guys
good.
up front that would be leading the entire time, they're the only ones that would be in question on whether or not they'll make it on the fuel after they pit. So it's going to get really exciting here the next, I'd say, 2 to 5 laps.
Couple of drivers. Where do you want to go at this current moment? Cedric Hunter over the radio trying to figure out where he wants to place himself as the lap car is about to be caught by the field, and it looks like he will stay high. So a little bit of a change on getting by lap traffic as everyone has to squeeze a little bit lower as the 13 Hello Kitty machine stays high. The last time they caught up with Cedric Hunter, he was on the apron, made it a lot much easier for the field. A quick squeeze, everyone drifts on by. Luckily, no contact, but I think, especially here in Atlanta, that getting by a lap car that's on the outside.
Ron and Larry moved down. They're going to be pitting soon.
Another position the driver's at.
Yeah, I'd say so also, because it's going to force the entire field to go even closer to each other, basically taking that middle lane. So, and when you get these groups getting side by side like that, then you got side.
Do we want to go like with them or one more?
It's slowing the momentum down, but it's still a safe position for that lap car.
Yeah, I guess so.
I probably would if I was in your position. I might ride it out.
Got it.
Decision on the apron. But it did give Ryan Kelly
I'm stuck at
and
the top
Larry
right now.
I may go one more than them, just because that will hopefully give me clean air to pit instead of being right up on his ass.
Clear outside. Every lap that goes by,
Oh shit!
dropping lower and lower as pit stops always there.
He's running half a lane up and checked up.
This field is closing in on completing lap 100. The window that we were given again was 68 to 70.
Yeah, everyone's getting ready to pit. They're all going to the bottom.
The whole entire race, that 68 number looks a little bit closer than you're going to be, as the last time these drivers pit was around 64 laps ago. So pit road is within 5 to around 8 laps. It matters on how much fuel maybe you were able to save while we were pacing the last time we went on the pit road, but we are here. This is the final call. And I'm not nervous, especially Richard, if the whole entire field decides to pit at the same time, there's not enough space for that. That would be the most amazing pit stop ever if everyone could pit at the same time.
That would take a lot of practice on coordination. I do not think that is something that can
They stayed on the track.
First takers coming down pit road. Ryan Kelly, Larry Eagling taking the pit road. First, there's a spin going in the entrance.
That's going to Tom
Coming this time.
One around, and there was contact of drivers making zero communication of going into pit road. It was going to be Ken Campbell. Small tap to the rear end of Larry Eagling. Luckily, no one else got involved
15
in that wreck, but it was too much on the brakes for Tom Sinchek. Goes around. That's a major loss of time, and he will not be able to stay attached with this front group that's about to be taking off and going. And with this pit stop, interesting enough, it is 4 tires and fuel for everyone that put in that first group. Curious if anyone else might be thinking about just 2 tires, or is it 4 tires for everyone?
It's definitely going to be 4 tires.
I'm taking one quick less of fuel.
Like the amount of fuel you have to put in these cars when you're almost on E is going to be longer than the tires. So just go ahead, grab the 4 tires, get the freshies all the way around, get a fuel.
41 seconds.
Get back on the track, get that speed going, hook up with each other, and start gaining that ground that you had lost.
Oh, and trouble strikes that first group. Caught speeding Ryan Kelly. A 40-second hold for the 3 machine, as he will not be a part of that group that he pitted with, and he will go a lap down, if not more, by the time the 3 takes off and goes.
Yeah, that is definitely a danger here at Atlanta specifically, just because of the speed. That is unfortunate to see our lead driver, our dominating driver of this race, get a speeding penalty going to the pits. And let's see, got another group coming in.
Drivers missing.
Cody Reed's going to miss the entrance.
Cody Reed's going to go back out onto
I don't
the
know if
track.
I'm slow from damage or slow just not being in the pack.
Jared Kelly, as well as Brian P. Johnson, Nick Crawford,
Here's my
all
stall.
with pit entry black flags, as they were all not able to slow down in time for an unsafe pit entry. That's a 40-second hold for all three of those drivers. Cody Reed just opts out of even entering pit road. That's going to cost him even more time because he's got to go around once again.
And we've got another group coming in as
Leaders
well.
on pit road.
Looks like Newbiggy got slowed down in time, hopefully. It looked like he was coming in really hot. But yeah, going out back out on track, I mean, I don't know if that was the smartest call. He'd have to, figure out the time difference there. That is a lot of black flag penalties for green flag race stops. That is unfortunate to see for a lot of drivers.
Cody Reed stays out for an extra lap. He has to go into pit road either this lap or the next after that mistake, and just banking on a caution, just praying on it at this moment. With that mistake, he's the only driver yet to pit is Cody Reed, and he's all on his lonesome. A nightmare situation for the 25. He's going to slow down and attempt to go into pit road once again, and he is flying, and he's going to hit the cone. Oh boy, I'm waiting to see. I think.
Thank you. I was trying to decide. I was like, man, that's a lot of momentum I'm going to lose there.
John Ross also caught with a speeding penalty for the 44. Cody Reed lucked out, no penalty, but woo, that pit road entry, that pitting cycle, that was the drama we were waiting for.
That was definitely the drama, definitely the excitement we were expecting. I was not expecting to see as many penalties, though. But for the most part, everyone kept it clean, no caution. We see a lot of cautions that come out for green flag pit stops, and everyone overall, I think, did a fantastic job, kept their cars for the most part straight, got in, got their service done, deal with their penalties, and now it's time to either try to rebound or make your way to the front and be a factor at the end of this race.
As now, with the pit cycle concluding, we're seeing the big gaps of drivers currently up front. It's going to be Larry England, John Forbes, as they were once battling to see who's going to be the lead driver. Now they've got to work together as they have the trouble of Lucky Ducks catching up behind them. They got the 00 flying through of Brian Noel, who's been up 2 laps down or more all night long. Now trying to lead this group, Scioli, Newbigging, as they make the pass over the 67 and 11. This is the first pack of drivers.
Did you pit after us?
You have to fall 3 seconds back to the true main pack, the biggest group out there.
Missed my stall.
Collectively being led by the 15 of Kevin
Yeah,
Campbell.
unsafe.
This is the first group of
Hit that with a 40-second hold, but I think Steve has too cleared it, so he did cut me a break.
But here's that.
Nice. I just incriminated myself on YouTube.
I wouldn't say shit.
Maybe they won't see that.
Get moving so they can catch that front pack. They still might be able to do a good job catching it, but they've got to work together. They got to get up and run for the lead up there.
Working the bottom.
I don't think it really matters too much anyway. I'm not multiple laps down.
While leaving pit road, so you go back into pit road. So now Christopher Norris, another meatball flag that he's serving for himself. So the 38 looks like his night is officially done. Joining the ranks of Cedric Hunter, Vincent Sora, and Chad Wilkes, who have all called it an evening. Drew Jua still in pit road, getting his danger there. We'll see if he decides to get back out on track and maybe take 1 or 2 positions away. Here's another pack of drivers. This is from 16th back to 21st position, being led by Cameron Thompson. But here's your race report so far. We've had 2 cautions so far. First one was the Drew Jua blinking out, spinning out caution that came out in the middle of our stage. Then we had a caution late in stage 1 that ended our stage with seeing the 6 machine of Wilkes being spun around off the nose of the O2. But since then, it's been clean, green. Atlanta Racing, we just got concluded with one of our wilder pit cycles I think we're going to see this season. There's been a couple of moments that maybe could have brought out a caution flag, but didn't. And Richard, it looks like we're coming down to those closing moments, less than 50 laps to go. And the question now looms, can that second group catch up to this group? Because currently they can't. They've actually lost time since we've looked at some of the other packs that are around the track.
Yeah, that's not a good thing you want to see if you're in that second group, because you all got to work together. You got to get hooked up. Stop doing side-by-side racing, because you're not going to win the race this far back. So, but that front group though, still doing a lot of side-by-side racing as well with a lot of those lap cars. it's go time now. I mean, honestly, there's really not a lot left in this race. Less than 50 laps to go, and you still have a lot of time to make up. So look up with each other, work as a full team and a long train, and it's getting some speed.
Lucky Ducks is just pulling along as they are just carried Yingling force forward as they get by some of the drivers putting down even more laps down. Going to be Shane Tarian in the 9 machine, as well as going to be Adam Kraus, who's going to be put down to 1 lap down as well. Here left with just 22 drivers on the lead lap currently. And that's crazy to say. With the green flag pit cycle, over 6 drivers were collected a black flag penalty during that run of our pit cycle concluding. But here's that second pack. This is why they're losing so much time. 2 wide, almost 3 wide. They just can't get in line and just say, okay, this is going to be our front group. Let them fly. So everyone wants to be that lead driver.
Yeah, they definitely do. And one thing we missed is there was a massive checkup going, looked like going into turn 3. And every single one of the cars in that outside lane just kind of hit the bumper in the car in front of them. As you can see, actually, on the back of Jerry Cruz's car, there's some bent fenders there. So there were some hard hits in that group right there when they had that check.
Mike Cox just doesn't miss the line, trying to push you out just for the inside.
We get single file, then we're not single file.
Mike Cox, first drivers, that's currently 1 lap down. Trying to catch up to Leroy.
Always been someone out of line.
Shane Tarian and Kraus up front of them. Trying to go that first driver 1 lap down and get that lucky dog position, but this group, I mean, they are not working as a good sequence together, and it is hurting everyone here as we're riding.
They're running so much faster than us.
A sense of how helpless this group is feeling. There's just nothing you can do when you're this.
I guess it's better with less cars.
Watching the madness and scratching your head, being like,
just can actually properly push, maybe.
8 seconds
maybe.
Off the
That's the only thing I can think of.
Just 4 drivers ahead.
I got a little bit of nose damage during the pit thing, so I was like, am I the problem? But like McCann's not pushing me like constantly, you know.
But just
it's not like I'm holding them up.
This isn't for the win. This is the pack number 2. So they need to work together. They need to communicate. They need to get in line and start working together, drive smooth, and try to catch that front pack because time's running out. They got 40 laps to go.
When desperation starts to click in, that's when mistakes are bound to happen. Could it be in the second pack?
Hey, Brian, for pushing, do you want me bottom or middle, bud?
The third pack is being led by the 18 of Timothy Harper. Who's got Thompson, Bustler.
Yeah, that's why I went down to not get side drafted there.
And I gotta give credit. Sinjek, we saw spin entering pit road, didn't get a black flag, and still on the lead lap. The 26 had a great recovery after that mistake he had.
Yeah, that is impressive. I mean, it was a small mistake. It wasn't missing pit road or anything, so he was still able to get back on track pretty quickly without any penalties. But yeah, just to be able to recover after a spin, nonetheless, even going on the pit road, stay on the lead lap, still being a group of drafting, he's doing a fantastic job.
29.9. Yeah, well, let's keep no time on time. Keep losing louder than lead is a part of Ryan Kelly, Thomas Crawford pairing of 4 that are all lapped down. Up front, it is still James Scioli that's pushing along, running well. Douglas moving in behind. It is 3 timers versus the rest. Douglas moving, going to be seeing the Lucky Ducks drivers trying to work as one. And this is exactly what they tried to do last season. It just didn't work out in their hands. This is going to be that final push.
Lapper just decides to come down to the bottom lane for no damn reason.
And for us, this is going to be our final chance to take a commercial break. It's been amazing racing all night long. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been with us. If you haven't already,
like legit was running second lane and then in the corner is like, no, I'm going to come down.
Final countdown of who's going to be the driver to win the first race of season 10 of the WSSR Cup Series. Could it be drivers looking for redemption after mistakes last season? Or could it be someone new that makes their debut here tonight? We're excited for all the racing action we can call you here on Preview NASCAR broadcasting as we'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing as we'll come back for the final stages of tonight's race. It's been a fun one. Cannot wait to see you on the other side of this commercial break.
Fast guys running 29.757.
Guys, let's just keep it straight here. We can definitely catch this pack.
30.195.
Hey, maybe you're just slow, Ken.
well, there is that. I mean, I might be, but
Cox, if you run a little bit more here down the middle, it'd be easier to push.
Yep.
oh my God, where the checkups?
6 outside. Still out there.
We're just still losing time to them. It's not even.
I'm coming up here.
Yep.
Still there. Clear.
You can hit me.
Clear.
Don't check up. But I mean, the whole point of running high is so you don't check up. And then we're checking up like crazy. I don't get it, but
Who's pushing him?
30.272.
Wondering the same thing.
looks like Gavin's pushing.
Not sure why the whole line just broke up.
I'm gonna say maybe he's letting off into the corner, but it doesn't look like it.
I don't know, but like I'm legit having to like use brake in one to not kill Ollie.
Yeah.
29.9.
But I also can't suck up to him either, so that might be an issue. We are running way faster with me back here, though, instead of leading. I don't know if that's because we were going too wide or because I was causing a lot of issues.
Probably a little bit of both. We were too wide for a while.
They're so far gone now, it doesn't matter.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're under that
last I looked, which was like 5 laps ago, they were 11.7, now it's 12.0, so it's like,
and it is
what's
not
the point?
looking great for
Might as well
themselves.
fight
When
for
the
6.
cycle concluded, it was just the 4 drivers of James Scioli, Douglas Newbigin, Larry England, John Forbes, with also the addition of seeing Brian Noel. Those 5 drivers have been just on top of it.
Yes, now it's just going to be boring right around here for another, what, 20, 25 laps, and then last 5 laps, try to make something
keep
happen.
them ahead. The second pack had more drivers in line, kept running it side by side. They're trying to figure out who's going to be the lead driver. Well, their lead driver, whatever they're trying to do in this second pack, has not been
check up.
They went from being 3 seconds behind the leader to almost bringing it on the rack. Huge slide. That's going to be Jared Hughes, who goes down to the
what happened to Ollie?
I think the 35 checked up in front of him. Did they check up in front of you, Ollie?
Second pack to get back into this race because they are losing time, and that doesn't help the factor either. Richard, he almost got the caution that was needed to make this race a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah,
honestly,
that was
a good thing he did.
Caution that second group was like going to take a deep breath.
Just been a bunch of bumper
but
cars.
Just didn't come out. Jared Hughes doing a fantastic job saving the car, keeping it straight. I mean, nobody likes seeing cautions. Everyone likes seeing a race out for the most part.
Hit me, I might need it. Get up there.
I got you.
Big
boat.
Yeah.
Because this front group is just walking away from it 12 and a half seconds ahead. 12 seconds ahead, sorry. It's just, I don't think there's anything they can do. They're just not gaining any time. They've got to hope for a caution here anytime soon.
It's me. It is me.
It's very easy to get on your bumper.
A lot of wiggling and moving all throughout the lane. Everyone's
I'm going to go around you, Ken.
In line. And this is the first time we've really seen them sequenced out. Then if we go up to our top 4, where they've been running.
Why so slow?
Story. They are all or in line, smooth, clean, not a lot of wiggling throughout the pack. It's efficient speed, super speedway driving we're seeing from this group, and that's why they're building up this gap, and they're actually catching up to our 4th and 5th car packs that are out there on track.
Yeah, this front group is definitely showing everybody how it's supposed to be done when it comes to drafting. Nice, smooth, stay in line, hit the bottom of it, hit your marks on the bottom of the track, and the less movement you have throughout that entire pack, the faster you're going to go. So that's
so easy to get up on your bumper sticks. Let's go.
Leaving the second group in the
He didn't even hit me yet.
Doing an incredible job. And questions in the chat, wondering, was it a bad bump? It was a bad bump that got Jared Hughes.
I was shoving you the entire trial. Just glued to your bumper.
As soon as I got in the clean air, I could just hear my RPMs. They're like, no.
Sideways, down on the apron. Again, no
shell not pass.
Third or fourth incident we've seen
Kinda like
on
a
this
NASCAR racing line.
our stage all the way back. Crazy to say this, all the way back at lap 28 was our last time we saw a caution come out, and it is since then been a couple of drivers knocked to the wall, knocked to the apron. No caution coming out. We continue to stay green, and this lead pack, it is our top 4 drivers that are mixed in the middle of this group. Our lead driver of this pack is actually the driver that's a lap down. That's Ryan Noel, currently 1 lap down, and the last driver that's 1 lap down. Behind them is where we find our leader of this race.
Is it better to run lower middle or higher middle?
Line is where we find Douglas.
I don't know, right? Ask Brian, he'll tell you.
All the other drivers behind them, for the first drivers, they're 1 lap down.
I want to stay in
This
there,
front
but
group, I mean, it's a mixed bag of drivers, but
you don't mean to?
great job.
No, it's all good.
Line and just being
He keeps like entering
small little bumps here or there to keep their speed up.
more higher,
With
so I'm
less
just
than
gonna
25 laps to go,
higher.
they look untouchable unless someone else further on back brings out a caution.
Yeah, these guys up front, they're just hoping this race stays green because it's,
I'm riding around in 10th right now. I'll take P10 with all this. I think they're catching from behind us this year.
They've actually still lost time. They're now 12.5 seconds back.
Oh, yeah, they're catching.
They're not gaining anything. They just keep
I don't think we're going to make up 13 seconds.
So as long as this race stays green, James Scioli, Douglas Newbigging, Larry Yingling, and John Forbes, they're happy. They want this to stay green. No caution, nobody spin, every stay straight. Whereas the second group, Gavin Rogers, Ross Tatum, Dylan, and all them, they're hoping, hey, we need something. Someone spin, something happen. You know, we need some kind of drama.
The guy behind McCann not getting close enough.
If it's possible.
I haven't been paying attention.
Can't even get to my bumper.
Getting some contact in the outside wall and some issues. That's going to Kraus.
I think he's on McCann now. So.
Yeah, there it goes.
On fuel. Bencini in the 98 machine.
He's kind of off in the corner and then getting that roll up to the stay
He's in trouble of losing draft. Part of the 4th pack.
3 behind us are catching by the turn. 10.5 lap.
Group as the 98 is trying to stay his best attached to that pack that's moving forward. And I mean, this lead group of 4, they just continue to hit their marks, and they're just picking up more drivers with them. And this group's just getting faster and faster as this race progresses on. More drivers needing to have trouble. Whoa, big trouble on the backstretch. It's Tom Sinchek in the 26. Spun around into the apron, but we see green.
30.12.
Watching everyone.
Throw the caution. Let's go again.
Tom Sinchek put the spin
come on
the apron, will not bring the caution out.
Volunteer?
So here we go. Stay green. The leaders had a little bit of a moment there in sweat. That second group was hoping for that to be a caution, but no.
Don't do that.
Sinchek kept the car driving.
Anyone have an itch on their nose?
Here's the replay of what happened to that 26 machine that almost brought out this late caution.
I think Wade has an itch.
You're going to see the 2 machine of Danny Cochran right on the back bumper. Just a bad bump. Just merely a half a second.
I would say
too
something about like technical difficulties or something, but then
Sinchek
it
on
would just
the
jinx it
apron.
and I
I
would
thought
get it.
maybe was going to let it roll back onto the racing surface.
Yeah, do we go back to Texas this season?
I don't know. I don't think so.
As we got 19, going to be soon to 18 laps to go for Scioli, Newbigging, Yingling, and Forbes. Those 4 drivers to figure out who's winning this race here tonight. Will it be the debut for the rookie Scioli, or will it be the others? We're hoping to start on the right foot.
Yeah, there's 4 of us.
10 start.
Yeah, when it gets down to the end of the race here, is Newbigging
There's like 5 behind
take
us.
the chance to win this race?
So I can go from P12 to
Push his
P17 real
teammate
quick.
to the win. But then you have, Yingling and
we'll just block
Forbes, they're
him.
going to work together
feel
to
like
try
I
to
was-
make her on the outside.
I was in like
Out of all
10th.
these
Like,
lap
how am I
times,
losing
who's gonna work
spots
for who?
without
Who's
getting
gonna
past on the
work
track
for who?
here?
So this could be a really interesting into the race if this stays green and it's just these 4 racing for the win.
Yeah, because you got to figure out who's going to be your ally. I got a feeling.
What are you talking about?
Lucky Ducks stayed in line. It's on John Forbes and Larry Yingling to figure out, okay,
trying
do we
everything I
have
could.
You seeing things, Ken?
It said I was in 12th place. Now I'm in 13th place, and I'm like, It's changing and nobody's passing us.
42.
I don't know what's going on.
Blitz that makes a stop for himself here tonight. Going to be just topping off on fuel and taking off.
What place are you in?
I think that's an interesting point. Is watching some drivers just coming into pit road, topping off on fuel.
I gained this spot, so I made it earlier. I passed you.
One of the things is there are sometimes drivers accidentally
goes to weed.
Their machine.
Yeah, when I said P10, I was still behind you, and it was still like it showed me in 10. That's weird. Hey! Actually, I think that's bad for me.
Oh, it changes here tonight as drivers just get another bad bump.
All right, 14 laps to go.
This race into chaos.
Desperation kicking in.
Well, no. My question is, do I stay in and get the 45 seconds of damage fixed?
Like, yeah,
just leading to bad bumps.
Lose all that track position.
That's what happened.
I think it's too late to fix any damage.
All right.
23 just giving a bad bump.
I'm gonna get I'm gonna get swallowed up, but if people don't know it and I can like hold on the inside line, I'll be fine.
Breath of life back into the racing.
They are back in this thing.
No one's pitting. Oh, you wouldn't be here anyway. Never mind.
He will be calling it an evening with required damage.
Yeah, I don't know.
For himself, but here
if you want to get up to the front, I think you take 2.
Sent us into this late race caution. The 23
or stay out.
Just a huge run on top of the 41. Bad bump, second bad bump, and it
we were going so fast around the pace car. We weren't like at pace speed.
Pack, just nowhere to go. Everyone involved.
I think people are just going around.
Go around, sliding everywhere.
The road was open for me for some reason. I know
is the wreck that changes it all. It went from it was untouchable, poor Scioli, new beginning, to breathing new life for the rest of the field.
Drama to end this race for sure.
What are people doing?
Now, the Lucky Duck drivers are not happy to see that caution, but we've got pit stops happening.
I'm going to take
tires
2.
and fuel just in case, because cautions breed cautions, and we have overtime that can happen. These guys definitely need to top off on fuel to make sure they can make it through these overtime chances.
Let's see drivers taking the risky call. Gavin Rogers, Justin Malarkey, also Brian McCann, Ollie Fonseca, Ryan Ferraro, and a few others. Seems like they might be thinking about the call, staying out for themselves compared to those that just get into pit road.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad call, but I mean, heck, you're in 5th place and all 4 of the leaders pit. I almost would have pit with them as the entire field because it puts you right there with them already. So I think the new tires, as long as those original 4 can get through the field on these new tires, they can still have a very good chance of getting up here.
Coming into the box is the part that I'm really concerned about.
10 laps to go when we go back to Green Flag Racing, so this is going to be a dash for the checkered.
Going to be a shootout. Your top 6 young drivers currently deciding to stay out for themselves. Actually, we can add another one. 7 drivers.
I should have just taken 4th then.
How many is on the
Cody Reed going to be 6.
There's only
on this restart.
21 on the lead lap. I'm going to come in and get some of this fixed. Because I'll lose 5 spots, but who
just
cares?
2 tires. First driver to take 4 will be John
people
Forbes
stayed out
in
then,
11th place. Then also fall back to 14th, where we see Ross Tatum, Joshua Kanata, Ken Campbell also take 4 tires for themselves. Also, another thing of interesting of note, with the timing of that caution, we've had 22 drivers on the lead lap. Then Keeney going to be that driver that is last on the lead lap. And I'm curious if Levi Cox, I believe he will.
Wait, doesn't this do like the weird, like if you pit with 1 to go, it does some weird thing or something?
Yeah,
the SuperSpeedway. I just drove through. I didn't even stop.
Very interesting strategy.
Oh yeah, I think it does. I wouldn't.
The
road would have been closed, right?
Earlier.
It says it was open the whole time, but
You're going to be lining up behind the
it shouldn't.
another league race like screwed me because I pit like
out on older tires was the right call.
with 1 to go, and it was like dropped at the end of the line and all that.
Later in the run, and that's
may have still been worth
43, 44 laps.
Cole and I did that in full send, but
yeah, it's ranging from 40 to 44 currently.
You wouldn't have had much time to get much done anyway.
Well, that was the thing. Yeah, if it was coming to 2 to go, I would have done it. And then I'm like, wait, I'm potentially risking a lot to get 4 seconds.
It's going to be a chaotic start to this one. It will be 11 laps to go. Gavin Rogers, Justin Malarkey, Brian McCann, Ollie Fonseca, Ryan Ferraro, Cody Reed, Jared Hughes.
Jaggers
the
are records.
Drivers that are
Jaggers are records.
on old tires, but they won the track position. From 8th on back Scioli, Newbiggie, Yingling, Forbes, they just saw their chance to win get a little bit harder. Pace car into pit road, into the restart zone. We are green. 11 laps to go here tonight for the first race of season 10 for the WSSR Cup Series. Inside road gets a great launch, but it's Gavin Rogers looking for some help, and they're pretty far back as we exit at turn number 2. Here we go, Richard. They're already 3 wide and trying to make some big moves in the middle of this field.
I don't know what the hell that
2
was.
rows deep, 3 wide, almost 3 rows deep, 3 wide. This is going to get wild with 10 laps. They're coming to 10 laps to go. These new fresh tires, they might be the way to go. If they can get through the field, who's going to throw the blocks? So that's the big question. Oh, got a little bit of squirreliness. 4 wide on the front stretch. Going into turn 1, they're still door to door.
There's so many checkups.
Trying to
I feel
hold
like
steady,
there's going
Scioli,
to be
Newbiggie. They were trying to stay
That line's
connected,
terrible
but
right now. Someone's super slow.
Gonna be still 4 wide and all
They're wrecking
into the field. They're scattering around. 4 wide did not work, and everyone's piling in.
I need to
As the
low key
wreck
and I can't
goes from the
see my-
exit of turn 2 into the entry of turn 3, and they finally come to a halt.
That is the big one.
I was trying to find you a fan right here. They was all
Speedways.
sliding down.
It's just a
Yeah.
bad push and get into the corner of another car,
we're dead.
sends him across the entire
Oh,
car.
no.
And
Wheels
the top
sideways.
4 able to get out clean. Not hitting. That was a smart decision by a couple of those in the front.
A couple of them it worked out for others. For like Malarkey, it did not. Ollie Fonseca, another one as well. As you see drivers
142.
slow down, others trying to find an opening. Everyone
Lucky dog
going
candy.
from
Oh, let's go.
185 miles per hour to figuring out how to dodge moving vehicles.
Are you only 1 down? Like get
What
you
a
back on the
moment
lead
for
lap?
all
Yeah, I
of
should
them.
be on the lead lap. 'Cause
4
I'm
wide, we knew
141.
it wasn't going to work for very long. Somehow they went from the front stretch all the way through 1 and 2, and it was the exit.
I would get it fixed, but I've got to stay out here with
for
them.
all those that were inside of our top 8.
Negative. It wasn't telling me to pass
Very
you.
long wreck there.
We gotta wait on the cars to come.
Almost every driver from that fourth one back that is a huge wreck and unfortunate for a lot of fast drivers as well, to include Larry.
Yeah, we're coming outside. Be aware of that. Come around to 35.
What's
Come
crazy
around.
about
Can
it?
you give me a
I cannot baffle that it did not happen. I'm not seeing
Front
any
end's pretty
required
beat up.
damage. It looked like it was just a bunch of bumper
It's still
cars
on there, but it doesn't
bouncing off of one another. No one took hard enough lick or
Think it'll
pushed
survive
someone into the
5
wall
laps?
hard enough to
252.
add required damage. I think the hardest hit I've
I don't know.
seen
It
there
could either be
was
fine or
Brian
it
P.
could be
Johnson
killed.
being forced to the
Time to
outside
tell
wall.
Two
But
minutes, 52
besides
seconds.
that, no required damage flag given out
Peter,
to
good
anyone
lane
out there
choice
on
still, right?
track. But a few drivers
And it was
will
all
stay
because someone was trying to
behind
avoid
them.
it and just
Get
turn
the
left
four,
across my
Cameron
nose.
Thompson, who was one of the
Like,
biggest
from
movers
top of
in
the
those
track
first
all the
20
way to the
laps.
apron.
Oh.
He will sit in pit road.
They didn't
He's
even
been
get
there
hit.
for over a minute and a half, currently in 30th position.
It just made it worse for
That is really
everyone.
impressive. There wasn't really a lot of hard hits in that wreck. Everyone pretty much stayed out of the wall. You know, no hard hits like we saw from Cedric Hunter earlier. So,
It did the whole, like,
not
there are so
necessarily
many
clean, but
people
still
that
able
got
to
in the wreck,
compete in this race,
but I
getting
checked
some of
up
the
and
damage
they're
repaired.
still in
So
front of me.
We still
you know?
have a lot of drivers,
Yeah.
even in that wreck, that still have a very
A lot of
good
people probably got away
opportunity to
with
get up here
nothing.
and challenge for the
I
win.
ain't that lucky.
And drivers that
Not
still
used to
are
that.
on going to be on those
Yep.
older tires
Just past
when
like
we
6
go
people.
green. Gavin Rogers in first, Brian McGann second. Also fought down to 4th place is Cody Reed. Ryan Ferraro in 6th. Jared Hughes fell back to
I always
9th
thought that
place.
couldn't
And
change
Ollie
lanes.
Fonseca that we saw that was heavily involved in that incident. He's in 11th
I'm
and will
easy.
continue
One
to
to
stay
go.
out there on track.
We are going to start on the
Drivers
outside
from
here.
17th
You didn't
on
get the
back,
lucky
all
dog that
excited
time?
to get road service done.
Did you get
Repairs,
contact?
just checking up on their vehicles. Shane Tarian and Beat
Oh, yeah, I was in the
place.
middle of it.
Going to get 4 tires and fuel. See if that's going to assist them to move forward.
I gave Larry a high
drivers
five, I
still
think.
on the lead lap, but extended time on pit road for Larry Yingling, who was in there for over a minute for himself. But this restart makes those laps a little bit more shrunk. It's going to be 6 laps to go when we go green. And Richard, I mean, it just ramps up more and more each
Where
restart.
you, Wade?
Oh, it's definitely going to ramp up even more now. We're probably going to see more than 2 rows of 3 wide.
What position?
I mean, everyone's
Well,
going to
right
be
now,
it's
score is
desperation
20.
mode now. Everyone
Okay.
needs to make a move. Everyone wants that win to start their season off strong. But you got Gavin Rogers and Brian McCann, two really strong drivers side by side. They could easily control this race. But then you also have the mix of fresh tires up there as well with James Scioli and
Brian, did we
Douglas
get shared
Newbigin
custody of you? Like, are you going to be in our voice chat next week?
Yeah, they took 2 tires for themselves. We'll see if Drelling's got a big
I
enough
don't have
move
anything
to get
that
up
will be able to make
currently.
moves, but
Rogers,
hopefully I
Brian
can just kind of
Great
maintain
launch
here.
for themselves,
Awesome, thanks.
but was it too big of a launch? Will they be a little bit more patient here? Or are you trying to get a big enough gap, though, if a wreck happens, you're far enough away from it? True questions to be thrown, answers about to be delivered. As the pace car pulls into pit road, it's Rogers, McCann entering the restart zone. We're green once again. 6 laps to go. A little bit of wheel spin on the inside could be from Newbigin, but everyone else up front in our top 4, great launches for themselves. Cody Reed hoping to push Rogers further up ahead, but it's the new tires from Scioli that's right on the back bumper of the machine.
Yeah, Scioli's doing a great job using those new tires to get right up in the Graham McCann, but that outside line going to have the momentum. James Scioli going to look on the inside, going to take the spot away from Bob McCann now as Lucky Ducks control the inside. Gavin coming down for the block. Lucky Ducks back in line with new tires. Let's see what they can do, and if Gavin has anything for them, and a huge block as they go to the outside and take the lead back.
Wrecking.
Cody Reed and another spin in front of the field. Only a few drivers caught up in it, but there's the late caution with 5 to go. And this could be sending us into overtime. And it was the part that sent the 7 in the wall, lost all the momentum. And there was just nowhere left to go for Cody Reed. He kept his foot in the throttle. It was a bad bump that sent Newbigin around.
Man, Lucky Ducks has got to be feeling this from hero to zero feeling right now, from being able to have this race basically locked down to now only James Scioli up there running for it as Newbigin gets turned and just major damage to him.
Also saw other drivers involved, though. Shane Terrian, I believe, also it was Brian P. Johnson all over that piece of it. Looking back, just a huge run from Lucky Ducks, and 3 of them in a row with one another. Just having the power to go anywhere you feel the field, like into the wall was Newbigin, the tap from Cody Reed, right in front of Drelling, and then everyone else spun around. That was actually Bustler, excuse me, that got pushed up into Terrian and Danny Cochran.
Even better.
Nowhere to go for the 2 machine.
Yeah, that means you're going to be set up for the corner, right? You're going to be the fastest. Yeah. You told.
See, especially Lucky Ducks as well, being able to.
Have we not caught the pace car to pit, or we need to go around one more?
No, we caught it.
Now.
It just cross start finish, and it's 2 to go now.
Really good jobs. Still able to maintain the lead through all that.
99.
So late breaks, cautions, and said it earlier, cautions breed cautions. How many more do you think we're going to see, Sam?
I mean, we are going to be right on the limit of overtime here as lights are still on. This will send us to overtime. Might be inside the regulation.
I don't know if I'm going to squeeze by it or I've got just enough car to get up there
overtime for the field. So we've
to be in the wreck.
3 attempts if
fresh
needed.
tires, I'm going to pass y'all on
officially cross over. But Gavin Rogers, Scioli, Cody Reed.
Full power.
I got to give credit to the 16 of Joshua Kanata. He's in the mix here. We really haven't talked about that much.
Came out under speed button, make sure there ain't no invisible penalties.
Even with his damage in this group.
Hey, did you see my
with the
Iowa
way we've
race?
Seen this racing, I don't know if we're going to see another caution here, Richard, because all those wrecks we've seen, it's been on the 2nd lap of a restart where everyone's
on the last lap. Complete slider just came up and
once we hit that white flag in overtime.
I was gonna say, well, you could do that. So
race to the checkered flag
you could Muncie me.
White flag. So we'll see. I mean, things do get crazy still in that first lap. They can still go 3 wide and still have some mix-up further back in the field. So I don't know. Let's hope we can get 1 lap down and get this race official, and let's see if we can crown a winner here the next couple of laps of racing.
You were back early.
And waiting on the pace car lights to turn off. That will be our indication of 1 to go here tonight.
Oh yeah, I guess the laps have been clicking off.
Rogers playing a little bit of games with the pace car and deciding he wants to be on the outside row, which makes a lot more sense. He will be having the fresher tires of Joshua Kanata behind him.
Busters in this
we
league?
officially are now into overtime, ladies and
I didn't
gentlemen.
realize that till now.
If this is your first time to watch overtime in iRacing, it's very simple. Overtime is a green-white checkered. It's going to be 2 laps to go when we go green. If we complete the first lap without a caution, the race becomes official, and it's all about who will cross the line to win. wreck after we take the white flag. Will not throw out a
Wonder if
yellow
that's one
flag.
of them
But
gray
if we
areas.
have a wreck on the first lap when we go green, that would then throw us into our second attempt at
He's coming down off the top and like was holding the brake and then just let it go and roll down the track right into
overtime
me.
attempt number 3. We'll see if this will be our final restart of the night.
What?
Richard, any final thoughts before this could be our final restart of the night?
Good luck, drivers. That's about all I can say. I mean, make your moves where you need to make them. If you want to try to win this, you got to make those dangerous moves. There's going to be a lot of them. People are going to be taking this.
Gonna get
wide.
interesting.
We're not done seeing 3 wide door to door, even 4
Yeah, I'll
wide
try
racing,
and-
because we saw it earlier.
Where are you?
We'll see what these guys can do to finish this race off.
Me?
Yeah.
What's crazy to say,
No, I'm dead.
almost
You're
every
dead?
driver
Okay.
that
I had
I know you towed. I didn't know if you came back
that
out on track or
stayed
not.
out on
so.
old
No,
tires,
it's still towing
they're
me.
all
Oh.
still waiting for a chance. Will
Thinking
they
forever.
get
It's like
part
a
of
4-minute
winning
go.
here tonight? It's time to see who will win the first race of season 10. As the pace cars into pit road, our first attempt at overtime is green. Kevin Rogers, a great launch for himself. It's going to be Joshua Kanata right behind him, trying to stay side by side with Scioli, but Scioli's got the tires. Rogers has no help as we go into turn number 1. Richard, it's still anyone's game as they finally get in line up front.
Yeah, Gavin able to stay in front of Scioli. He's doing a great job with Scioli there, keeping him behind him. He's got the fresher tires, so that's really dangerous game because he's going to be faster. But Cody Reed, a great run on the inside. He's going to take the lead as well.
Still there.
Cody Reed did not know if he was going to race here tonight. Showed up late, missed out on practice, was here for qualifying. They're spinning and wrecking as they cross the line. White flag is out. This race is official. Cody Reed got too big of a gap. Gavin Rogers, Scioli are going to have the run. Ollie Finsick in the 24 as well, going to be right there. Malarkey as well. It is going to be a huge run that this 25 has to hold back. Here we go. Scioli goes high. Rogers falls to the 25. They're both trying to find an opening to get around this. They're production machine. They're 3 wide. Ollie gives the bump to Cody Reed. Reed has the run. They're 3 wide behind. Cody Reed wins.
Cody Reed not sure he was going to show up tonight. Takes
still got a
home
top
the
10.
win in a phenomenal finish, and they're wrecking after the checkered flag. Phenomenal end to this race.
Ollie came out of nowhere, giving the shot to the 25 machine. He got the run.
I put it in 5th. Well, so yeah, so going through, I got checked up there on the wreck at the start finish, and then Danny went below, and I'm like, well, screw him, I'm not moving up. And then he like kind of knocked me up a little bit. Then on the backstretch, I was like, okay, let me put it in 5th, and it just goes, no, that's not going to happen. But
a little bit of luck and a little bit of help. I think
I only
he
lost
could've
that one spot
He
after
didn't get that huge hit from Ollie Fonseca.
Not
Ollie did a
easy,
fantastic job
Grab
getting a great
stacking, see it right.
push.
Car
Pushed
blinking
the
out.
Reed right
It
out
looked like you
front,
was
and
going to have the front, though,
James
from
and
what I can tell. And I thought I was going to be clear to make it through.
dude, we were rolling, and then they wrecked right up in front of me.
What a run there late. They all started wrecking and scattering. Coming to the white flag, and the opening was there. Cody Reed had the space. He had to put the block.
Can't say who got me or
push from
anything.
Gavin Rogers, then got the
I thought I was in
final
the clear,
push
and
from
I'll
Ollie
say just-
Fonseca. And Cody Reed is taking the first win of the
dude, we were rolling on the bottom, and I'm like, here we go, and then I have no idea what happened.
Winner, Cody Reed is a winner.
I saw the side of somebody's car, and I was like, pretty sure that shouldn't be there.
Step away when we come back.
And it was right when we took the white.
We'll talk to our top 3: Cody Reed, James Scioli, Gavin Rogers, and a spotlight driver right after this.
Like just a bad. Oh, tells you what I know. I hit the dude in the back. Didn't even hit him on the side. Then Danny comes up and doors me to get back up there. So I was not going to lift on the back straight. But you can't go below the double yellow on the back. You can on the front, but not on the back. And I was like, okay, but got back around him. Like a good battle there at the end, though. And then, yeah, Shane got around me there at the end. So. All right. Well, that will do it from here. Much better start to the season than last season. Dodged couple big stuff there, and yeah, we'll take a top 10 out of that. Wade finished 21st, so get your shit together, Wade. And and Stitz got wrecked out and finished 34th. But
yeah, I got your luck.
Yeah, you definitely did. But yeah, so I'll take mine. They won't take theirs. And do y'all know where we are next week? I think it's Pocono.
Good question.
Right? Or
I think so.
I think it's Legacy Pocono too, actually. So.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right. Well, Storm Motorsports will be back next week, and hopefully we can improve our positions. That'll do it from here. Thanks for watching.